Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Scrapping Cane, also known as Jennifer. This is my very first process video, so bear with me. I'm showing you here the products that I'm going to use today, which is Maggie Holmes products mainly. It's a couple of different lines, scraps and stickers that I had in my stash. The papers are fairly new, Magical Forest and Marigold. This paper here is the one I'm planning on using for my background. I splattered it with paint, black and white acrylic paint. These pieces I've already cut and I've already got started. I already backed my cut file. Now I'm in the process of just putting the layout together. I ink all of the edges on all of my layouts. Almost all of the little detail pieces and everything is inked. That just makes it stand out for me, and I like the way that it looks. I tore pieces and then inked the edges of them. This here is my mini title piece. This is the extension of the main title. The title is Love You More Than You Will Ever Know. And I went ahead and inked the edges of that after I got the pieces placed where I wanted them. I'll continue to ink all of these pieces, and then I'm going to distress the other pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ink away, and I'll work on putting the photo mat on my picture. The first layer is just that little like pinkish peach color paper. And then I'm going to distress the edge of that. And it leaves little scraps on your tables, so I like to wipe those away. So that's why I moved the other papers out of the way. I'll go ahead and distress all of those. And then this one I'm going to piece together, covering up majority of these words. I just want the colors that are in the cut apart papers. And since I didn't have very many papers to work with this collection, I decided to use the back of the star paper that I backed the cut file with to mat my photo. So here I am piecing it together, get it where I want it, and then distress the edges of that also. And I'm going to put play foam on the back of my photo. That'll help it pop it up just a little bit. Go ahead and place that down. And then I will add that little ring, which is an acetate piece. It has leaves on it. That's going to go in the corner of my photo. That's just a little extra detail. And the little rainbow and the heart, I'm not going to place on yet. Those will come in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and move those out of the way so I can bring my background back in. I'll ink all the edges. Have to be kind of careful because the acrylic paint's kind of dry. Most of it's dry except for the bigger spots. Go ahead and start placing my pieces down. This one's going to go at the bottom. As you can see, I covered up the piece that I didn't have enough of in the background. So there's actually a hole in the back of the layout, but nobody will ever see it. On this side here, on the left side, you can see there's a hole. So that's where the other paper strip is going to come in. And I'm going to lay that across there, trying to line up the hearts. They're not lining up. So I'm going to fiddle with that for a minute. I'll move it up, make it line up, and then I'm going to go take it to the side and cut it and bring it back on. It's not going to, it doesn't fit correctly right now. I'm just making sure it's lined up correctly on the grid, and then I cut it. And I'm re-inking the edge since I cut that edge off. I'll bring my title piece back in, and these are just little cut apart pieces that I cut mainly for the colors. I don't want any of the words to show, so I'm going to tuck those in behind the hearts. And that just gives it a little extra pop of color over there. Place it back, see if it fits. Bring in my picture. Can't decide if it's going to go top or bottom. I decide to go underneath the cut file, so then that means I'm going to have to pop up the cut file. So again, I just use play foam on the back, and I like to cut little pieces and just piece them in where I need them. Make sure it's going to fit correctly. Looks good. And place my photo down. I will go ahead and place the cut file, I believe, next. And then I use a little bit of wet glue. I use the Scotch Tacky glue. And then I'm going to work in the bottom corner. Oh no, I went to the top corner. I'll put the little hearts back up at the top corner. And then at the bottom corner, I have a little ticket, and the rainbow is going to go in the bottom corner after I finish gluing down the heart. There was a piece of paper that I forgot to ink, so that's what I'm bringing in now. I'm going to ink the edges of that real quick, and then put it at the bottom right there. At first I think it looks okay, so I bring in the little ticket. The ticket's not going to slide in, so I decided to go ahead and leave it on top. But it's covering up most of the gray piece that I put in. So then I go back and tear the little gray piece and put it up a little bit higher. You're not going to see it anyways because it's covered up. So once I put the ticket back, then I'll put the rainbow back on top. And I add a tiny little heart and a little star. And those are just little details that I like to add in on all of my layouts. Once we get those back in, I'm almost done. I'm going to bring in some Nuvo drops after I glue down all the little pieces that aren't fully attached. I used black and white Nuvo, and I believe that's red berry. And you will notice in the final photos, the top right corner, or sorry, the top left corner actually changes the Nuvo drops because I smeared the red Nuvo, so I was able to cover it up with a white Nuvo drop, and then I actually moved the red Nuvo to the other side of the hearts. And that was just something that looked better to me, so in the final photos you'll see that it's moved and it's in a different place than what you're seeing right here. And that's the end. I hope you like my layout, and if you like my channel, you like what you saw, then go ahead and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be making more. I have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully it'll work out. See you guys later. Bye.